Cyclones by George Clinton Smith. Toward the western portion of the United States, along the 25th parallel of longitude, lies a vast tract of sandy, arid country known to the earlier geographers as the Great American Desert. It is true the limits of this great area have become circumscribed by the onward march of civilization, but the sandy waste is still there and must ever remain. Still farther westward, the Rocky Mountains rear their lofty, snow-crowned heads in one continuous chain, 3,000 miles in length. Rich in mineral wealth, the delight of tourists, and the home of a prosperous people, these mountains have a different and equally valuable office to perform in the exercise of an important influence upon the climate of our continent. Were they to be removed, the entire territory west of the Mississippi River would soon become an arid, lifeless desert. All storms of any magnitude that visit the United States, except the tropical hurricanes, which sometimes touch the southern coasts, have a common origin in or near the Rocky Mountains. Here the first barometric depression is felt, preceded by a rising temperature, caused by the warm winds moving northward over the sun-heated sands of Arizona, New Mexico, and western Texas. These warm, rarefied currents of air are met by cooler currents passing over the snow-clad peaks of the north. A cyclonic storm is formed, usually small at first, which begins its journey eastward, gradually developing in energy and area as it goes. After leaving the mountain ranges, there is but little precipitation for the first few hundred miles. As it advances, it usually widens from north to south, but the line of travel of the storm center can be readily predicted by the signal service observers, and its location at any time fixed by the lowest reported reading of the barometer. During the journey of the storm eastward or southeastward, the wind in advance of it will be easterly, blowing off an area of high barometer into the low, and the barometer will continue to fall. Toward the north of the storm, the wind will be north, and to the south of it, the wind will blow from the south, frequently causing what are known on the western plains as sandstorms, while if the storm occurs during the winter season, the wind and snow in the northern portion is called a blizzard. In the rear of the storm, the wind will be westerly, shifting to northwest, frequently blowing a gale. The barometer will rise and the temperature will fall, sometimes rapidly, and clearing weather will follow. Thus, it will be observed that the true axis is the storm center, and that the storm revolves on this axis as it moves forward in an easterly, northeasterly, or southeasterly direction. This is the true cyclone. It may be only a few hundred miles in diameter, or its influence may be felt from British America to the Gulf of Mexico. It may be accompanied by what are known as local showers or storms, or the rains may be general and of several days' duration. The greatest precipitation is frequently in advance of the storm center and may be either rain or snow, depending upon the season of the year and the temperature. During the spring and summer months, the area of low pressure is usually accompanied by precipitation in the form of local showers or thunderstorms of more or less severity, in which case the strongest air currents move with the local storm cloud and are known as simply high winds, sometimes approaching the severity of a hurricane, but seldom extending over any considerable area of territory. The true cyclone usually travels from the Rocky Mountains to the Atlantic coast in nearly a straight line. Sometimes the distance is traversed in 4 days and nights, exceeding the speed of a railway express train. But frequently the progress is slow, and the time required much longer, depending largely upon the atmospheric conditions met within the vicinity of the Great Lakes. Frequently, while the wind may be blowing from the southeast or northeast, or between these points, the storm is approaching from an opposite direction and pushes out its cloudy streamers, or feelers, hundreds of miles in advance. There is, then, no such thing as a northeast storm, as far as the interior of this continent is concerned.